Hey, I'm James Bay, and Premier Guitar got in touch and asked me if I would describe and break down and play for them the guitar riff that really got me into playing the guitar. And this was the riff. It's Layla by Derek and the Dominos, who in about 1970 were Eric Clapton's band. I was 11 years old when I first heard this song. It was sometime in the early 2000s, and I remember hearing it. And it was at a time when a couple of kids at school had started to play the guitar, and it was just the thing. Guitar was the thing. Lots of people were talking about learning to play the guitar, maybe starting a band. And around that same time, my dad put the record on downstairs in the house. It was like a Saturday afternoon, and I was upstairs, my bedroom door open. And suddenly I heard this riff, this guitar part. It blew my mind. I ran downstairs, and I just stood in the living room with the music playing out the speakers. And as soon as it finished, I said, play that again. We played it again. I listened to the whole thing again. And then I took the CD out of the CD player. I ran upstairs. And I don't think my dad saw that record again for a long time. But I sat in my bedroom and I learned how to play the part. And it probably took me the best part of a year. I ended up, it was the piece of music that really made me want to pick up and learn how to play a guitar. But I had to learn how to do all sorts of other things on a guitar first. And I was playing a nylon string classical guitar. It didn't even sort of compute in my mind at the time that you could make different sounds on different guitars. But yeah, I remember hearing that for the first time, and it just blowing my mind. So from then on, I've been playing that riff and listening to that record and trying to replicate the emotion that I get and that people get from Layla with my own parts and stuff. But I just love it. It's just so electrifying, the way that it just sort of leaps out. There's no, it doesn't set itself up, it just comes in. And I love the way that it loops around. It just comes around and around and around. It sort of goes back into itself and comes around again with the chords. And if that isn't enough for everybody who loves guitar, and I guess who loves that part, you've got it going on down there, and it's all crunchy and sort of thick and deep, and then he starts screaming up the top with the same kind of riff, just up the top end of the guitar. I love this bend. And it gets even higher. It just blows my mind. It's such a... You get a sort of cool rhythm feel with the lower part, and then you just get that screaming guitar sound that so many guitar players love. Everything that goes on kind of around and above the 12th fret on the B string, the high E string, is always exciting for guitar players. And yeah, that really is a kind of seminal moment for me in music, in my musical journey, and I'll never forget it. And every time I hear Layla, it makes me want to pick up a guitar again. It still does to this day. And for anybody who might only know the riff and doesn't know the song so well, go and check it out. That is probably one of Eric Clapton's greatest vocal performances, and he's got a lot of those. And not only is Eric Clapton playing on that record, but Duane Allman from the Allman Brothers plays all the slide guitar on that record, which is another brilliant moment on that song. There's so much to that song. It's a bit of a marathon in itself, but you have this kind of cool, sharp, 3-minute pop song, and then this beautiful piano part at the end, this screaming slide guitar from Duane Allman. But there we have it. That's Layla. I will never not love that song and that guitar part, and I hope you can go check it out and enjoy it too. Thanks to Premier Guitar, and thanks to everybody for listening.